Welcome, good afternoon to all participants. I hope you are doing good. You are safe at home. And I, Karthik Revadikar, Training and Placement Head of MIT SSC Alandi, would like to welcome you all for such a lively session, which we are going to host with a very lively guest with us today. And in a brief, that what exactly MIT SSC is all about, I would just give you in a 1 second brief. MIT SSC is Arts, Commerce, Science College, and basically we stand to cater in areas of BCA, BBA, BCS, MCS, and we take proud that we have more than 10,000. We have supported more than 10,000 careers till today in last 10 years history of us. And with that, I would like to move ahead with our topic, and I would first like to welcome our guest, Mr. Anup Ramachandran. Sir, good afternoon, very good afternoon, sir, to you all, to you, sir.
Hi, good afternoon.
And Mr. Anup Ramachandran, who is here with us, just a brief about him. He has largely 25 years plus experience in the field of HR, and he has been working in various great organizations like Bajaj Finance, then Future Generali, and Max New York Life Insurance, and so on. And he has been heading these companies as head HR for many years, and now he is working as director PHI Edge, and this company is into various verticals like staffing, training, and many more things this company does into. And he is a very well renowned name in the industry, in HR industry. And so over to you. I would just like to welcome you on behalf of my TCSC on digital platform, first of all, and would actually like to start have some words, and then we'll move ahead to our topic, sir.
Okay, thanks so much, Karthik, for this generous introduction. Uh, MIT is a very well-known name in not only in Pune but across the whole country, and people actually aspire to join this organization for various streams. It has been there since a very long time, and I'm privileged to be a part of this webinar for MIT. Just before I start, I think there are already some good green shoots that are available in terms of end of COVID. So even though the pandemic may continue, but the economy is already bouncing back. The stock markets are coming up and everything. So we need not be too worried about this pandemic because there are some cures that are already being is already coming up, and people are working at very frantic pace to actually bring in more vaccines and cures. So I believe life will be normal, is what I say. So do not worry about anything. Life will be good again.
And yes, we also wish the same for all our participants. And in tune, our first topic is in regard of COVID-19 only, sir. So
Okay.
as we had informed all our participants that COVID-19 pandemic, after COVID-19 pandemic, what should be the new areas of career? So in these on these lines, we would like to have some light from you. So what exactly may be the uh, new era of career after COVID-19 or post COVID-19 period, which we are talking about right now in the market itself? So if you can throw some light on that, sir.
Okay. So thankfully, people are coming out of it. In fact, a few days ago, we have also read newspaper announcement by our by a respected prime minister stating that he can already see a lot of green shoots. But I think people are also becoming more comfortable to work from home. Lot of so all the areas continue to be there, but apart from these areas, now new areas have also come in. For example, people can do a lot of work in terms of coding, in terms of developing, in terms of there are a lot of activities that will come up in terms of AI, in terms of robotics, in terms of creating chatbots, IoT, etc. For example, let me tell you a new. I mean, if you look at all the hospitals, they already have something which is a AI-enabled platform, which is called Mitra, and there actually they are connecting a lot of things through IoT, etc. to give a lot of good solutions to various patients. Uh, Plus, if you see, there are a lot of BI tools, etc., that can be developed. People can get into analytical tools, etc. So, apart from the existing work, because almost all the organizations now, most of the IT organizations are very, very comfortable working from home. At least they are saying that for 3 4 months they don't mind working from home. Large organizations like TCS, etc., are allowing their employees to work from home, even on a permanent basis, actually. So opportunities have not gone down, it probably has gone up in this COVID era. Yes, Karthik.
Yes, sir. So, means I hope our participants would be having some sigh of relief that yes, opportunities, there is no chance that opportunities are going to dip in. In fact, there is a dip up, there is dip up, there is upside which is coming up from the market. And as you have mentioned, that green shoots are there available, visible quite frequently, quite properly, eminently, they are visible right now. So, these participants should not be worried about the chances or opportunities of the career. So in this line, our next topic, which we definitely would like you to again throw some light, is what opportunities for career now would be lying after 12th. So specifically before graduation, some people are interested to go up ahead for opportunities. So either in terms of studies or in terms of job, what are the opportunities basically available for students after 12th right now, sir?
Okay. So, as I mentioned, COVID was just a temporary phase. The opportunities which were earlier continue to be there even now. For example, a person, if he chooses to pursue BCom, then from BCom he can do his CA, he can do his CS, he can do his ICWA, he can do his CFA, etc. That's only one part. Then he or she can do hotel management, or a person can also get into, after doing BCom, he can also do his MBA in HR, in marketing, in finance, in IT, etc. Or a person can also get into architecture, a person can get into hotel management, a person can get to become an economist. Now that is only a tip of the iceberg, only when it comes to BCom. Now if I look at things like, say, BSc, if a person does BSc, from there actually he can, or he can do BSc, he can do BSc in specialization, he can get into BE, that's engineering, he can do, he can get into MBA after his graduation, he can get into medicine by choosing biology, etc. Now the beauty is that, few years ago, people had to do specific specialization, and then only they can groom their career in their area. For example, now, to be an economist, to be a data scientist, okay, to get into stock markets, okay, to get into the film line, you don't need any BCom, any BSc, any of these things. Okay? Now, if you want to do an if you want to get a more exposure about MBA, after your 12th, you can also do BBA. So I believe MIT also offers this particular course curriculum for BBA. So that also is an exciting opportunity.
Yes, sir.
You can get into pharma. So the number of opportunities now, this is only with regard to studies. Also, what I would want to say is that studies is not only everything. I mean, you can make a career in things like, say, sports medicine. You can make a career as an artist. You can get make a career into, say, sound management and system. So these are absolutely unique ways of doing. So we need not worry about it at all. So after 12, my only submission is that post 12 you will have to do this. Graduation you will have to do, that is necessary, because if you do not do graduation, just being a 12th pass or doing your diploma may not be sufficient, will not be sufficient. You will have to do your graduation, and while you are doing all these things, then there is huge amount of career opportunities which can go in hundreds. So we need not worry. 12th is a very initial phase actually.
Yes, sir. As it is mentioned very well that it's just a start. It does not ends over there. So 12th is just a catalyst to graduation. And
Absolutely.
I would just like to add a figure over here that
Hmm.
some days back we had two placements which were offered to our BBA courses,
Hmm.
which is an again an option after 12th.
Hmm.
So there were two packages given to our candidates. One girl who has been picked up by ZS Associates, she was taken at the CTC of 11 lakhs, a
Hmm.
BBA candidate. And
Okay.
other guy who has been absorbed by Byju's, the guy
Hmm.
has been offered again 9.8 lakhs package. So yes, after 12th, if you are aiming these kinds of packages as well in a frequent time of 1 year or 2 year or 3 years, then definitely BBA courses like BBA, BCA, BCS, they are nowadays are upcoming as a better opportunities in the career.
Absolutely.
The
BCA is
the
also coming up very well,
yes sir.
and it is also fairly high paying in the
Yes, sir.
industry.
Yes, sir. So even BCA now, but nowadays BCA, BCS. So these candidates are preferred for good analytical jobs, technical jobs, development
Yes.
jobs. These candidates are given a better, far more preference and opportunity. Over here, there is another asterisk. So if you go for an engineering computer engineering degree, so you will have to have compulsorily 60% and above. But for BCS candidate who possesses a skill is enough for the job. So this is the
Yes.
beauty of BCS and BCA. This is where exactly it is differentiated also from engineering. So I would
Absolutely.
also like to, sir, request you some to guide people of having preferences for criteria to seek a job in the current scenario. So is there any specific preference that they should stress upon, they should rely upon, or they should go for to get a job in current scenario?
Okay. See, for example, uh, after 12th, you would need to pursue a career. You would need to get into some sort of a graduation. But like very rightly said, BCA, BCS, BBA are all good things to actually do. You can actually also get into architecture. Okay, so there are courses there. You can get into economics. You can get into BSc with a lot of specialization. For example, people, there is also a choice that if a person does not get into engineering, the person can also do a BSc with a specialization either in physics, chemistry, or maths, etc. Uh, a person can also get into statistics. It is a very, very evolving and fast evolving subject over there.
Yeah.
So after 12th, you can do all these things. You can also get into a lot of production. You can get into artistry. You can get into any of these courses. Plus, also many of these courses. So apart from when you're doing, actually, if you're doing a BCA, BCS, or anything, there are also a lot of online courses also that you can take up. So you already have the name of an MIT, from where probably if you're doing a BCA or a BCS or anything, and then if you are taking some online courses, maybe in AI or in robotics or in cloud computing, or say or in terms of machine learning or any of these things, there are various courses that are available. So apart from doing this, but if you just take those online courses, it may not be sufficient because they don't teach you too much. But if you have that course apart from a BCS or a BCA or anything of that sort, then your chances of getting a job is extremely high. But my suggestion is, why only job? Why not look at being an entrepreneur also?
Yeah.
Uh, Also, what happens is that even if I were to recruit for my own organization, I'm absolutely okay with a person who speaks extremely good English. The attitude has to be extremely good,
Yes.
hardworking, and then a person can build a career in HR also. A person can get into a call center, he can get into voice training, he can become a trainer. So opportunities are plethora.
Yes, sir. So even in fact, a wonderful fact to wherein you were mentioning that there are lot many specializations available with BSc. So of lately, what we observed last year, sir, in placement trends, that BSc mathematics, for surprisingly, they were taken for development profiles, so coding
Yes,
development profiles, because they have good logic in BSc
yes,
mathematics. And these kids were taken for development profiles, and they were paid a package of somewhere like 3.5 to 4 lakhs, which was again surprise to us as well, because it was a very new trend which came to us, that BSc mathematics is suddenly becoming live. And BSc
yes,
mathematics is also a course which is now, which may be in demand in future, for future by IT companies, because they have some logics, rather they have good lesson of logics. Because mathematics, a mathematician is always having, uh, it is preferred, because the logic is very sorted with the mathematicians. So,
absolutely.
sir, with
Even
this, I
even
would
in
like,
companies, even in institutes like say BITS Pilani or any of
yeah,
these IITs, etc., where
mhm,
people are not able to get into any of these engineering courses, the second option immediately that they choose is BSc Mathematics, BSc Stats, etc., and
yes,
that is also paying very well.
yeah, yeah. And last year, for first time, our BSc mathematics placement has rose like anything. Means we were also so much surprised that suddenly why companies are running behind BSc mathematics. So yes, they were interested for BSc, BCA, but equivalently they were interested for BSc mathematics also. So the third line wherein you can get into, and with mathematics you can look for coding jobs, are basically BSc mathematics. That is again a good course. And
Correct.
with that, I would like to, sir, take you forward, that some lovely participants have asked their questions, and I would like
Okay.
to take it up. So with your
Sure.
permission, I would like to start, sir.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. So basically, the first question is coming is like, after COVID-19, there would be more and more online jobs. So what
Mhm.
will be the effect, and how to manage these things?
Okay. So, you know, there are many jobs which we thought will not be online, but everything became online. So, I mean, necessity is the mother of all inventions. That's how you see a Teams, a Zoom, a Google Meet, etc. All have become very, very sought after. I mean, organizations like say a Team, Zoom, etc. Their stock markets, stock prices have really shot up. Now, coming back to what all can be done, almost all the job that we thought could be done should be done only in office, everything is being done because you have a phone, you have a laptop, and then you are able to connect with people over all these conferences, video conferences. So it's extremely easy. But there are a lot of things that can be downloaded while a person is at home, like maybe a coding job, a developer job. Now, coding, developer job, etc., can fetch anywhere from about 5 lakhs to about say 10 to 12 lakhs per annum.
Yeah.
That's there. Then, if I were to look at all the work with regard to pieces of AI, robotics, etc., those things will be there. Building chatbots will be there. IoT platforms, chunks of IoT platform, cloud technologies, all those things will be there. Things like say people can get into while you are at home, you can get into developing or hosting websites, maintaining
Mm,
websites,
yeah.
managing all these software related glitches for various organizations. So all those things can be done at home. You can do a lot of work in terms of say a data analysis, data crunching, etc., can be done at home. Opportunities are there in plenty in terms of all the statistics, in terms of creating business intelligence tool. So all those things can be done at home. You can do a lot
Okay.
of analysis because many organizations will say, okay, I have got all this data, but then I don't have anybody who can do a lot of analytics. That
Mm,
can be done. You can get into legal and then you can draft a lot of things at home. Those things can be done. You can get into telecalling. You can get into say online recruitment. For example, in my organization we have for 2 months, for 3 months actually, all the people were at home, but the business did not suffer at all in terms of recruitment because all the
mm,
hiring and everything was online. We had to do all the interviews online. So the opportunities are plenty, even staying at home. But I think staying at home now will again, because now people are getting bored of this COVID, and hence I think they will start coming to office. But staying at home also is a good career now. It gives a good career.
So now, yes, since you have mentioned that hiring of the job was going on. So is it means is it like that there not at all any problem during the COVID period, or rather for last 2 or 3 months when the lockdown was going on? So was it like that somewhere that there was no actually problems with the industry hiring or industrial hiring that was on its schedule? Was it like
Hiring,
that?
see, offers became slow, but the interviews were always there. A person typically spends about 1.5 to 2 hours coming and going back to office. Then there is an amount of fatigue that is there.
Hmm.
Now imagine none of these things were there when it was work from home.
Oh,
So,
great.
so not too much was affected in terms of recruitment, in terms of design, in terms of many of the strategy, thinking strategies, and everything. Most
Okay,
of it could be done at home.
okay, okay. So, sir, our next question from the audience is: what are the opportunities for BCA graduates who are planning to start their own business or make their own setup?
Oh, fantastic! So we have a lot of budding entrepreneurs also.
Definitely, sir.
So, okay, so specifically, if I were to look at only BCA candidates, so first I will tell you the related businesses that you can be, and then of course the unrelated businesses can be absolutely. There's no end to it. But related business, if you were to divide the entire software into two parts, I mean the IT into two parts, hardware and software. So people can get into a lot of manufacturing of all sort of hardwares, okay, that is required across all industries. You could be in telecom, you could be in automotive, you could be in white goods. So those are hardware related issues. So for that you can get into manufacturing of any of these products in terms of hardware. Now coming to software, you can get into AMC contracts. You can provide AMC contracts for people. You can actually be very responsible for say things like you can do write all the codes for software. You can design a lot of programs. You can get into designing BI tools. You can get into designing a lot of analytical tools. You can get into a lot of data analytics. Now all these things are there with regard to software. Now if you have done BCA, you can get into a lot of other manufacturing which has got nothing to do with IT. Absolutely okay. Or you can get into a lot of service industry. For that also you don't need a BCA. In fact, I want to say that many entrepreneurs do not have a very specific technical qualification, but they have been extremely successful entrepreneurs. So what you need as an entrepreneur is not a degree, but certain qualities of working very hard, not giving up in life, uh, improving your people relations, uh, being humble, learning from others, and willing to learn new things. If you have all these qualities and ability to take a risk, so you don't need actually any of these qualifications. You can be an entrepreneur. But if you have done your BCA and all those, of course, you can be an entrepreneur and you can get into hardware as well as software services and everything. So it's a great career.
Great, great, great. Uh, I hope this question has actually answered many answers in the crowd. So, next question, with your permission, I would like to take
Sure.
is: will the 12th class mark a candidate has asked? This
Mhm.
is the dearest question to my heart as well. Will the
Okay.
marks in the class 12th be a
Mhm.
barrier for students? And if it is, so how exactly a student can cope up in the life after 12th having less marks?
Okay. So about I think 27 or 30 years ago, I also had this doubt. Uh, but let me tell you one thing, that whatever marks that you get in 12,
Mhm.
if you pass, if you get about 45-50%, but if you do well in graduation, nobody looks at your 12th marks. One. So my son is in BITS Pilani, but he said, ki, Daddy, nobody looked at my 12th marks at all. So don't worry about the 12 marks at all. It's not relevant the moment you get a decent mark in graduation. One. Secondly, even if you do not get a great mark in 12th, you can always get into a lot of other careers. Okay. And that is not important. Many uh, successful entrepreneurs who have got second division, third division marks. Okay, I'm not even talking about less than 60%. I'm talking about much but less than 60% and even below 50% actually. So
Great.
marks are not any criteria to get a job. What
Mhm.
gets you a job is your confidence, your ethics, honesty, your ability to work hard, build relations, willing to learn new things actually. So just don't worry. In fact, when I was in Asian Paints about 20 years ago, uh, we had a criteria in that company that I don't want to recruit people who are great, who have got fantastic marks. Okay, so marks are of no importance in a professional career. Yes, to some degree it may be important, but then if you have a great attitude and everything, then honestly, your 12 marks surely don't count. They never even. So if you ask me what I got in 12th, I don't even remember honestly. So nobody asked me. I have worked for various organizations, and honestly, they asked me only one thing: where all have you worked? What all have you done?
Yes.
They never even asked me even my management marks or my graduation marks. Never in my 23 years of career. So don't worry about this less than 60% and all those. If you are confident and working hard and good attitude, these marks are of no significance at all. But that does not mean that you should not try and get good marks. Okay, but if you don't get, it's not the end of the world. I mean, you may be
Yeah.
even more successful than others.
Just an example of one of my student.
Yeah.
Uh, 5 years down, 5 years before, the guy was into BCom in the
Hmm.
same college, MIT only.
Hmm.
And beyond his 12th, believe me, he had less than 50% marks. Plus, he was suffering with his English language skills, sir.
Hmm.
So after BCom, during BCom, when we used to see this guy, he was good at selling. He was
Hmm.
very good at selling. Just we pushed him for a good job with a finance corporation, and with that NBFC he grew like anything. HDFC was his first job.
Hmm.
HDFC HDB rather, he was working for HDB.
HDB
And
Financial Services.
HDB Financial Services, he went into there as a sales executive. So I would just like you to take a guess what is his earning today. So he passed out in 2016 and it is 2020. So his monthly, what must be his monthly salary now? A guy who has 45% in 12th and he was suffering with English skills.
Oh, so maybe few lakhs here and there.
So monthly, he's right now his last salary last month he has withdrawn 1.5, which even I am
Oh,
not dreaming of right now
so that's 18 lakhs per annum.
per annum.
Yeah, absolutely. In
Yes.
fact, one
So,
more thing which I wanted to point out, Karthik, is that we are managing HR for various organizations, okay, various SMEs who range from anywhere from about 300 to about 500, 600 crore turnover.
oh,
Many of the entrepreneurs that we very clearly, very closely know, and who all are extremely successful, uh, I hardly know of anybody who have done their MBA and who
precisely.
have passed out from very great great colors and all those things. So yes, they have passed 12, they have passed their graduation and all those things, but they all worked very hard, and they took a lot of risks in life. So
Yeah.
marks are just can take you to some particular level. That's about it. But beyond that, nobody asks you about your marks in college,
Yes.
etc.
Yes.
Nothing at all.
Yes, sir. I second your thoughts on that. So next question, with your permission, what is the growth of AI, that is artificial intelligence and machine learning, post-COVID world? So that is the
Okay.
question again coming from the, I hope, a technical heart. That is, what is the growth of artificial intelligence and machine learning post-COVID world?
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
If I look at say AI or a MI, ML, so one is that you would need a IoT to connect various devices together. That is there. You have robots, you have uh, cloud computing, you have, for example, for cloud computing, you use Microsoft Azure. They use basically all these tools of IoT and all those to track uh, all the COVID related people and where all they have been and everything. So that is through IoT and AI. Then, if I were to look at, say, uh, in this scenario, many of the workers in the factories have actually gone back to their villages. So there is a shortage of workers. Uh, Entrepreneurs are turning towards robotics, AI, etc., to do a lot of their activities, and they are able to manage that. In terms of all the banks, call centers, etc., they already are using a lot of chatbots. So all the telecallers, etc., who are not there, they are being replaced by chatbots. Then machine learning again, which is actually a part of AI, is there. So if you look at the way the world is evolving, say if you know of driverless cars that Google has already created, so their particular the project that they are basically is basically called Waymo. That's their project. And if I
Mhm.
were to talk about Mitra, which was the project for hospital, so
Mhm.
all these and all the new technologies, for example, drone and everybody, and geo mapping, geo satellite, and everything, all those things are turning more and more towards AI, machine learning, deep learning, etc. So that is one of the future that a person can get into. It will become more and more actually, in
Okay.
terms of all the business intelligence tool, etc. So it is using a lot of analytics, etc. So yes, AI and machine learning are extremely important, and they use a lot of IoT basically to upgrade themselves continuously.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So I hope AI and ML profiles must be the question who has been asked by someone must be cleared his thoughts. So next question is uh, again a basic question, basic a good question rather. It is career opportunities after COVID-19 crisis. So what should be the career opportunities? What would be the nature of career opportunities? Kind of a question has been asked by one of the person in audience. So after COVID-19 crisis.
Okay. So first, I think the COVID-19 is a hype. Honestly, just about 1% of the population gets infected. Out of that 1%, on an average, about 70 to 80% of the people also get cured. People who don't get cured and where it can be fatal is primarily only those people who are already having pre-existing diseases, heart, lung, kidney, etc., breathing, people who are diabetic, etc. So those are the people who are of a higher age, etc., are the people who are facing. So we need not worry too much about this COVID thing. Also, what happens is that now all the economy is coming back to normal. Uh, So whatever career opportunities was there before COVID, the same career opportunities are also there after COVID, except that after COVID, I think the career opportunities will be even more, because a lot of people actually will be working from home. One very
Yeah.
important thing that probably people would not have seen is that many people would have gone to their villages from the cities and from the towns.
Yeah.
Now, entrepreneurs, organizations need people to work. Where will they get people from work to work? People have gone back to the villages. They are into their farming. They have opened their own shops, etc. So the government has already created employment in the villages. But just imagine all the factories, industries, and all those which are already opened in the towns and the cities. There is a shortage of people. And that is where all of you will come in handy. So recently a survey was done across the world by about of all the CEOs in terms of what is the impact of COVID, how soon will the economy bounce back. This is a survey done for all the CEOs across the world. And about 65% of the CEOs said that the entire world will come back to pre-COVID within 1 year. Okay, so that's great news for all of us. We need not be worried about all these things. Yes, COVID gave us good rest, spend more time with family, be healthy, that's all. Now we are hale and hearty and happy. Now it's come back to work. So opportunities are always there. In fact, more opportunities are there now.
Great, great. So I think we should not actually label pre and post COVID. It is actually wrong. Opportunities stand as they were, right?
Yes, for example, you will have careers in engineering, medicine, economics, finance, you say CA, CS, ICWA, etc. You have careers in computers, you have in marketing, sales, advertisement, you have analytics and data, you have geology, you have meteorology, you have astronomy, you have, then if you don't want to get into those careers, you can get into singing, you can be an artist, you can be a dancer, you can get into armed forces, you can get into police. There is no dearth. So I think none of us should be scared about it.
Actually, these words are must be giving some sigh of cooling air to everyone who are participating, because this is what exactly making worry people that unnecessarily we are worried of post COVID. So there is no post COVID. It is as good as what we had left 3 months back. So we have to
Exactly.
just start again.
Yes, but after 12th, it is necessary to do courses because if you have to get a job, 12th will not get you a job. So you have to get into things like, say, a BBA, BCS, BCA, all these courses in mathematics, etc. And it's always good to join a brand which is slightly good. So yes, we have huge institutions like MITs, etc., where if you do all these courses, then we will have a great career, and we have a huge choice to make, honestly. So we need not be afraid.
Yeah, yeah. So one last question I would like to take again now.
Sure.
There is career options for PCM students other than engineering. So what you would suggest for PCM students as career
Okay.
options other than
Huge.
engineering?
Huge. Okay. So you can get into architecture, interior designing. If you want to do only BSc, you can do BSc. You can do BSc with specialization either in physics, chemistry, maths. You can get into merchant navy. You can get into aviation, because merchant navy means there are a lot of engines and boilers and DG sets and everything that you can do. You can get into things like, say, ethical hacking. You can get into forensic science. You can get into fashion technology. You can get into defense. You can get into animation and graphics. You can get into physical sciences like, say, astronomy, geology, meteorology, disaster management. You can get into statistics, for example. You can get into banking. In insurance, there is something called actuarial science. That's fantastic. So it's very, very essential. If you are doing PCM, it's very good because actuarial science actually pays you salaries. A good actuarial science gets salaries even in crores. So lakhs is an understatement actually. People who
Uh,
have done their actuarial science, they paid very high. Then you can get into sound technology. So I mean, sky is the limit. Plus, don't restrict yourself. If you say PCM, it does not mean only science. There are so many other things that you can get into. For example, you can get into doing MBA. So MBA does not say that you need to do PCM or graduate or a BA or anything. So lot of things are available for PCM students also. The also advantage that PCM students, why people also recruit a lot of PCM students is because uh, they are used to do a lot of hard work. They study a lot, and hence the hard working criteria is always there. They are also good in terms of analytics. For example, Karthik, what you mentioned that uh, some people who did specialization in mathematics, they got some good opportunities, and hence it is the qualities that these subjects build in you, which makes you do very well, and that's why you can get into any of these fields. So don't worry about it.
okay, okay. So one question which I would like to take, just a wild card question. I'm taking it from right now is, I hope that question is near to you.
Sure.
What is your opinion about BBA and MBA in human resources?
Okay. Uh, okay. So if you do your BBA or MBA in human resources, it gives you focus on a lot of subjects like say organization behavior, organization design, human resource management, etc. So it teaches you things on recruitment, training and development, compensation management, performance management system, etc. All of them are already being used in HR. So if you do these courses, it will be nice, and it will give you an edge over various other organizations. Of course, after that, you will do some amount of summer training and winter training. It will hone your skills even better. And it's good to do that if you want to make a career in human resources.
Great. So I hope more or less we have covered uh, basically all the questions. There may be some questions which may be left today, so would request you to post it to Gaurav sir's email ID. And just I have forgotten to introduce Gaurav sir also. He's part of an integral and important part of MIT ACC. He's deputy registrar of the college, and he is always behind all these sessions, the brain behind all these sessions, who actually run around, do the FP campaigning. And me and Gaurav sir, on behalf of MIT SSC, would actually like to thank all the participants for being a very good audience, for hearing out what exactly we wanted to take it out to all of you. Also, on behalf of MIT SSC, Anup sir, it was a really pleasure to talk to you, to have you here on this platform. And we would actually request you for further some more discussions like this, and we would keep bothering you for more discussions like this. And I hope you won't actually take it in a bothering manner, sir.
No, no, not at all, Karthik. Not at all, Gaurav. It's been a pleasure interacting with you and interacting with the students. We are always open for budding talent, and in fact, all organizations would need, and we are also open to it.
So, Gaurav sir, in your opinion, can we conclude the session, sir?
Yeah. We can conclude this session. This session was a part to bridge a gap between industry and education. So I think Anup sir has thrown more light to fill the gap between these two different domains. So all aspects are covered. So we can conclude the session, Karthik sir.
Yes, sir. So, Anup sir, thank you very much, sir. We will once again will bother you for further some more sessions, sir.
Oh,
Thank you
it
very
will
much,
be my
sir.
pleasure, Karthik. Thanks,
Thank you
Gaurav.
very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks to
Thank you.
all the audience. Thank you, Gaurav sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
bye.
Thank you.